Hello and welcome to another Monday night stream. I do apologise for missing last week. I did have a good reason for it though, and that was trying to get the word out for chapter 16. Because I just finished it and posted it online, set the premiere date and all that, so I hope everyone has had a chance to see that. If you haven't, well I guess now you know that it's there. Just have a quick drink of water. Floopy, hello, welcome. Always good to see you. Excuse me. I think I might just give myself hiccups. There we go. Yes, I have. Just what I want to on stream. Grogan, hello, welcome. Just gonna hold my breath for a second, so I'll be quiet. Okay, I think I got it. I hope. Because I don't want to really be hiccuping all the way through the stream. Thrawn, welcome. I do apologise for being quiet for a moment. I had hiccups, and so I just kind of held my breath to hope it stopped, and so far it seems to have worked, so that's good. My day's been okay. It's been kind of rainy and miserable, so that was less pleasant, but just have a little bit of a relaxing day as well, which is quite nice. And now I'm here with you guys, and we're going to be working on chapter 17. So this is past the halfway point of the book, with chapter 16, which was released last Thursday, being the halfway point. In all the chapters leading up to it, except maybe 15, I was thinking, I was halfway, so that's such a long way off, I'll never reach that. And then suddenly I was there, and now I've crossed that, and it still hasn't quite sunk in. But yeah, halfway through the book. It's a huge milestone, and couldn't have done it without the support of everyone who's been following the series so far, and obviously you guys. So thank you. Thrawn, yeah, I haven't seen you for a while, so it's good to see you back. I hope tonight's stream will be entertaining for you. Floopy, I'm glad to hear that. I had a lot of fun making it, especially the action sequence. I didn't really want to show too much of making it because I just wanted people to be really surprised by what I had in mind for the action sequence and the way the error and mistakes line was done. Well, flying, hello and good night. Well, Thrawn, that's fine. If you miss the streams, they all, as soon as they're over, they automatically get added to the channel. So you can find, if you miss it, you can find it there and catch up with any that catch your interest. I've done lots of behind the scenes stuff, like I'm doing tonight, showing how I do different aspects of Heir to the Empire. And I've done some gaming, playing various games. I think TIE Fighter is the most popular one there. But I've done a couple of other non-Star Wars games. And I've done director's commentary on Heir to the Empire, 2 chapters at a time. And I realise I've now got 2 more chapters I can cover. So maybe I'll do that next week. Tell Frere I said hello too. Jerry, welcome. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, chapter 17. Now, for those of you who've been following the stream know that I've already started work on this village. I did it for part of my birthday stream 2 weeks ago. So now I'm going to be continuing to work on it. One of the things I ran into was I had accidentally saved over one of the Wookiee buildings. So instead of having 3 different ones, I had 2 different ones and also 2 copies of one building. So in the 2 weeks off, I've made 2 more buildings. I've also got these branches because the book describes that the landing pad is located on branches that have been pulled down and support the landing pad itself. So that's what I'm going to be working on today, and also updating the textures on these 2 new buildings so they look like they belong here with the others. Maybe I missed that when I read through Thrawn, so obviously I need to read it again. Sherry, I'm glad you're doing okay. Lumpy does live on Kashyyyk. It doesn't appear in this chapter. In the intro to chapter 16. You know what, I'm going to make a note of that so I can look it up later. Because I don't want it now when I'm talking to you guys. That would be rude. On chapter 16. So, the difference between error and mistake is such a popular line, and one of my favourite lines in the book as well. And I really wanted a t-shirt, so if you check the merchandise section of this channel, you can get it printed on a t-shirt. I've made a design, it's got Thrawn in it, it says, do you know the difference between an error and a mistake? And on the back it's got the answer, which is anyone can make a mistake. Anyone can make an error, but that error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. Which, I've ordered the t-shirt, looking forward to it arriving, but if you want to get your own, they're there in the merchandise store. And I've got it on, set it to be on hoodies and sweatshirts and a few other things as well, so be sure to check that out. Right, we're 10 minutes in. I'm going to get started. I'd like to give people 10 minutes to to join us and just say hello to everyone. But I think 10 minutes is a good waiting point, so we're going to get started. I'm going to do the buildings first. J. Cody, thank you so much. I'm glad you've been following for so long and obviously enjoying the series so far. And I do appreciate all the support, sharing, likes, super chats enabled. People very kindly donate to my Ko-fi page. I do split the when I get quite enough. When I get a nice build up, I try and split it with the cast. I mean, there's no point trying to split $5 between various people because it doesn't do much. But yeah, I like to support the cast as well because they're such a talented group of people. That was a long time ago, when it was just chapter 1. And I just made that as a test. I'm sure I've told this story before. And I didn't expect any of the reaction that it got. So it's all thanks to everyone who watched that first chapter and asked me to make more. That the fact that the rest of this exists, because I really didn't expect that many people to be interested, and how wrong I was. Right, so I'm going to start texturing these houses, and I'm cheating by selecting the dropper option on one of the existing houses, and I'm just going to drop the texture there, and since it's the same up here, there we go. But yeah, so many people asked me to make more of the story, so I thought, okay, I'll make up to chapter 4, then people will lose interest. And I had all the issues of, well, if the characters need to look like and sound like they do. Well, the movie characters. The characters from the book, you get a little bit more flexibility because there's no sort of established way for them to actually sound. Oh, I see what I've done here. I didn't select. Yeah. So one of the things I didn't do last time was create the supports. So it's just a little texture. Lumpy getting a cameo might be difficult. I haven't imported any more Wookiee models yet, which is what I'm going to have to do next for this particular chapter. One of the issues I've got is there aren't a lot of Wookiee models available. So I'm probably not going to give Lumpy a cameo, simply because I want to reserve what limited Wookiee models I've got for the characters that are more vital to the story, if that makes sense. There we go, that was easy. So there we go, 2 more Wookiee buildings. They're kind of floating in the air, which is not how I want them to be. But they're fully textured. I'm just going to bring them over here. Actually, put it up here. Actually, yeah, I quite like that, the way that looks. The little one coming out of the bigger one. So I might have accidentally created a system where I can create modular houses. And it was all done by accident. Right, so we're going to make it so the doors are not all synced up with each other. There we go. And then I can bring in some walkways to go up here. But I'll do that later because it's more about getting the textures for these branches. No, I've already imported them in, I just haven't textured them. Actually, I'm going to save what I've done so far. So we've got this massive branch here, which is the one I'm going to work on first. Because the idea I had was it's going to come out of one of these trees, supporting the village. We may not even see which tree it comes from, but it's going to be maybe a little bit too big because it's bigger than the tree. It's bigger than the tree trunks. I don't remember what she's wearing in the comic. I'll have to look that up. It will depend on what is feasible with the software. So I make no promises. There we go. And make it longer. feel like maybe some of these tree branches, tree trunks should be wider. I'll work on that. Okay. I still make no promises. I'll have to have a good look at the comic and decide what I want to do. I haven't thought... I've got the scene written. I haven't thought too much about what she's going to be wearing. Because I haven't... Until recently, I didn't even think I'd be getting this far with the book. Right, so I've just done the same thing as I did with the house, these new houses, and just copied the texture from one of the tree trunks to this giant branch. There we go. Just doing it for these cut bits. The Wookiees probably wouldn't actually cut the branches off if they could help it, I don't imagine. We'll cover these bits up with leaves and the landing pad. So Luke floating in space and pulling out kilometers of wire from the X-Wing is beyond the ability of this software to pull off. So I have to modify the scene just a little bit. So him floating in space I could do, but it's all the wiring and everything that it just isn't going to work. So I've modified the scene to work within the capabilities of the software. So I'm afraid you're not going to get to see that. There we go. I try not to tell people what's coming, but I also don't want people to be disappointed. Cherry, I'm glad you like the look of the t-shirts. I'm really excited for my error mistake one to arrive. Excuse me. So we're going to have that there. Maybe I should raise it up a little bit more. I did have... See, it's not... So the problem is, it's the wires themselves as a 3D object that are flexible. I've tried doing wires before for different projects, and they are a real nightmare. And when you factor in zero gravity as well, it's just not something I particularly wanted to try and tackle. So this is the landing pad. It's not textured. It's just a brown circle. So the thing I was thinking about is Wookiees obviously have a lot of wood, and their houses are made of wood. But if you have a wooden landing pad, the thrusters of the ship are going to set fire to it anytime it launches or lands. So what I was thinking about was having the branches supporting the landing pad, but then maybe having something a little bit more metallic or less flammable anyway, as the pad itself. Also go back to the Luke scene for a second. I've already got the Luke dialogue recorded and waiting to be used, so I don't really want to go back and say, well, can we change this to something else? So the way I've got it is the way it's going to be. Could be rocks. The Wookiees would have to find a way to get the rocks all the way up from the surface. I don't imagine that being much fun. I'm just looking at this. I'm really excited to have this scene finished and watch the lady like coming and landing, and this is going to be great. So digressing just a moment, just a little bit there. Alright, so let's go back to the branches, because we need the branches before we can do much else with the landing pad. Which branch is next? It's number 5, which is this one. For some reason the centre of the object is over there. We want it to be here. Is that right? Nope. We want... There we go. This makes it a lot easier to rotate it around when you have the right pivot point. See, what I'm thinking of is something a little bit like this. I'll make it a bit bigger. Or maybe not. And so you see the very ends of it holding the edges of the pad in place. In the book it describes Leia looking at it and feeling unsure of how safe it was going to be, because the landing pad was held only by the tree branches that the Wookiees had pulled together to hold it. Now, if I shrink it down in that way just a little bit, it looks almost right, up a little bit to the side. There we go. There we go, so we've got a branch there holding the landing pad. I'm going to have a few more around, so I need to texture that. Because that's the default texture that came with the branch, and it doesn't really work for the rest of the scene. So let's see what we've got to work with as far as wood textures go. I may just end up... Actually, I'm just going to use the same one as here. I don't know if I want to make... Actually... So I don't know if I want to model a landing pad, because I'd have to make all the droid parts and then figure out how to put them all together. I'm not sure if I really feel like I'm up to that particular challenge. But I do like the idea that there might be some droid parts around still. So maybe I'll sneak some in somewhere, depending on what 3D models I can find for droids. I'm sure the battle droids are quite popular, so it shouldn't be difficult to find a head or an arm or something and find somewhere to put it. Right, so you've got some more branches. There's this one here, it's just got leaves on it. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Let's bring it over and... So you have to remember that the planet was occupied by the Empire. So the Empire could have built the landing pad, in which case a grey durasteel or metallic pad would work. Not sure that works. That's true. Chewie was very good with technology. I hope that works. Yep. Okay. I'm going to have to do each of these branches individually, I think. Oh no, just the one. Just the two. That's good. That's branch 1. And we've got branch 2 over... Which one's branch 2? That's that one. Let's make it bigger. That's very bright. Actually, what might be interesting is to have... It still needs to be bigger than that. Almost got it. Just need to go. Like that. So, oh, there we go. That's kind of what I wanted. Just reposition it a little bit more. So close. There. So now it looks like we've got some branches holding the landing pad in place. Let's give them the right texture. Is that? Oh no, it's not sticking to the landing pad. That's good. Franz, welcome. Right, so we've got branch 3. I think branch 3 was... Let's bring it over here. Oh, branch C wasn't the one. I was thinking of. That's still over there. That's good. I'm glad it doesn't look like it could hold a ship. So if we have... Actually, let's center the pivot point. And we're going to rotate this on its side, that way, flatten the axis a little bit. Yeah, I think I can understand Leia's fear from the way this is coming together as well. Right, let's texture that. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is duplicate that last branch and have another one coming up the same on the other side. Nope, that's the wrong one. That's the one I wanted. So I've gone really quiet because I'm concentrating on what I'm doing, and I have a habit of doing that. Yeah, let's rotate that around that way a little bit. Bring it. See, that's not the angle it needs to be at just yet, because that would catch the ship's landing. Can do is make it bigger. Rotate it more so it comes from that direction. Almost got it. There we go. One landing pad supported by tree branches. So we've got this big one underneath, and as you can see, the ends of it are right here. So I think I need to make it a little bit longer, so it doesn't cause issues with the camera. I'll lower it down. There, that's perfect. Well, I haven't textured the landing pad yet, but yeah, it's perfect. I better save. So I need to have a walkway from the landing pad to the village. Fortunately, I have a few of those already created, so I'm just going to copy one and bring it over here. Right. Now, some of these pathways are not going to make logical sense because I don't actually need to create a full village that people can walk around. If this is making a video game, then yes, I would have to do that. But since it's more for the cinematic purposes, I'm going to cheat and just have it disappear around the corner. Mad Gamer, I'm really glad that you've enjoyed the animations so much and the books. Obviously, reading the books is much faster than waiting for me to finish. But thank you for your very kind words. There we go, got the walkway. And the village over there. I'm very pleased. So we had a fog effect. That's not the colour that's going to work for what I want. Oh yeah, the other thing I turned them off because it's quite demanding on my system. I think I showed putting these on last time. It's trees below, and of course I haven't considered the position of some of these is going to be through the landing pad. Well, I hope when you watch the videos it makes it clearer what's happening. But yeah, there are a few chapters. I imagine Wookiees don't necessarily make the most interesting characters to write in book form because apart from Ralra, all their dialogue consists of growls and roars. I think that tree needs to be a little bit further away from the landing pad. There we go. So it's the same guy that voiced the Bims who is voicing Ralra. He does a lot of different creature voices for all kinds of things, and luckily a friend of mine put me in contact with him, and he was very happy to do Ralra. He's already sent me the dialogue, so I'm excited to put that to use. In fact, I have all the dialogue needed to complete this chapter. What I need to do next is to bring in some Wookiee character models and then I can do the motion capture for it and render it. So it shouldn't actually take too long, as long as I can find and import some good Wookiee models so they don't all look like Chewie. Yeah. Right, I'm going to say, actually, I'm going to turn the trees off. Because they are very demanding on the system. And I don't want, it's even more demanding if it has to load up. So I would like to do that, if I could. Let's get a quick drink of water. So one of the things I need to do is figure out what's going to be over here. And I think it's going to be more trees off pretty much as far as the as far as I can get them to go. It's going to be quite demanding on the system. But there's some ways around that which will be quite interesting. And then I'll have the Lady Luck come in and land here on the landing pad. I've got more of the village I need to design. Don't know if I need to do that for this particular chapter. Actually, wait, yes I do. So that's something I need to do. Yeah. Just going over it in my head. So yeah, so I've just got a few more locations to design, more Wookiees to bring in, and then I can get started on the actual animation itself. Excuse me. Which is very exciting. And I'm really happy with the way this is looking so far. I've also got fog effect in to make for clouds because it's quite high up. Let's try that. I have to have more. So the range of the fog emitters is quite limited when you're working on this scale. But that's not a problem. I can just put in more fog emitters, scatter them around. So it should look very atmospheric. Yeah. I kind of run out of things to do. Because until I get the Wookiee models, I can't really do much. And I think filling out this with trees at the moment is... it won't be the most exciting thing to watch. Actually, there is one more thing I just noticed. There's still a tree branch over there. I'm glad you like the fog. I switched it back off because it's another one of those things that's very demanding on the system. So there's no point having it switched on until I actually need it. And it's disappeared. Oh, because it's one-sided. There we go. Let's flip it round. Don't actually know if I'm going to make use of this one because it is completely flat and kind of spoils the effect of the other ones. Let's put the texture on it and see if that makes a difference. I'm going to say no. A little bit darker. Not that dark. Well, I'm going to leave it there, and then I can always delete it later. If it doesn't work actually in the animated shot. If I lower it a little bit more, so that actually might work. It's low enough that you can't really see that it's flat, but it looks like it's supporting the branches under there, which is again another thing that was described in the book. I'm going to save. Actually, one last thing I could do is texture the landing pad. Let's see what we've got to work with. Metals. Let's try that one. Now obviously that's needs to work on that just a little bit. Bring up the settings. Right, set to maximum texture size, resolution. Colours are not right. We want a grey colour, because if this is built by the Empire, then it would probably be a darker colour there to make it look more damaged and more used and worn. Probably the same. Don't know if this is going to work, but we'll play around with it. We'll reduce the peeling. Well, scratches, what do they look like? It didn't really show up. Okay, that does happen. We're going to change the UV settings. I think actually the UV settings are better before I messed around with them. Let's go back. Undo is such a useful tool. What I'm going to try instead is to reduce the tiling. Try again. Yeah, I'm not sure that really works. Okay, let's see what else, other options we've got here. Rust strips. Oh, we want that. We've got bullet impacts. I don't think we need those. Oh, bullet impact size. I still don't think we need them, but let's have a look. Well, it's good to know that we can make them smaller, but I don't think they would be here on the landing pad. Now we've got these blobs here. Of course that's the rust, isn't it? That might work. Let's make the metal a little darker. And we've got well, I don't know what that actually did. It didn't make kind of much difference. Sometimes that happens too. Basically it's a little grainy, which I feel like it shouldn't be. I don't actually give the titles to the chapter. There aren't any in the book, it's just chapter 1, 2, 3 and so on. So I'm doing the same thing with the books. just keeping chapter 1, 2, 3 and so on. So chapter 17 does not have a title other than chapter 17. That's probably not the thrilling answer that you were hoping for. But it's kind of all I've got to offer. I just realised you can play with the light angle to get the shadows right, and just looking to see if I can. I think that matches the light of the scene. Or does it? No, it doesn't. Now it does. Right, so we're going to bake the texture, which basically turns the settings into a proper texture and not something I can edit, although I can go back and edit it later if I need to. And when it's baked, it's a lot less demanding. I know I've been saying this over and over. It's a lot less demanding on my system. Now I may change that texture to something else, but it kind of works for now as the metallic look that I think works for the environment. Now, as you can see in the distance, and there's a tree disappearing. Let's see what I can do about that. Make it a little bit. Basically, what I did is I rendered the trees, and then it's just a still image, a flat image in the background to make the forest look like there's more trees in it than there actually are. Zach, well, I'm glad you're tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Don't get into trouble watching it work. I would not want you to do that. But if it's fine for you to do that, then I hope you're enjoying yourself. Saving that. And I think I'm done for what I can do today. Been streaming for nearly an hour, which is how long I usually do. Turn the fog off so it's easier to load next time I want to work on the scene, and save it, and there we go. I'm excited to see how this village is coming together, and looking forward to being able to put it to good use in the next chapter, and I'm sure we'll see it again in the following Kashyyyk chapters. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming. I think I'm going to end the stream now. If you haven't seen it yet, chapter 16 is available on my channel. What else? I can't remember what else I was going to say now. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you everyone for coming. See you all next time. Should be back next Monday. Might be working on this, might be doing the commentary on 15 and 16. It'll be quite interesting to talk about those two. So yeah, may the strong be with you, and see you all next time. Bye.